month and happy December. I'm Mari Black, and this month I have for you our traditional December waltz. This is one of my all-time favorite waltzes. It comes from Cape Breton, from the pen of the late, great Jerry Holland. It is called Boo Baby's Lullaby. It goes like this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And if you're just listening, that's the tune. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later. And if you're ready to learn it, grab your instrument. Let's dive in. Okay. Wow. All right. So, I guess we'll start with what key this is in. Hopefully you already figured it out just by kind of root hunting, playing along a little bit under your breath with me. But we're in E major, 4 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. This is one of my personal favorite keys, as anyone who's hung around me knows, and it has a really special kind of ethereal, lighter than gravity sound to it. So it's really special for many reasons, including that. All right, now I was ornamenting pretty simply using a lot of hammer-ons and a couple little drone double stops and a couple little tasteful slides. Couple little tasteful falls. These are all decorations that we've covered in past tunes of the month, and we'll go over them quickly here in context with Boo Babies. But first, let's get the basic melody. I'm gonna play, I'll play the first half of the A section. I'm gonna play the whole A section slowly and without all the decorative stuff. See how much you can just pick up by following along with me. E major. I have 3 pickups. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I'll repeat it. Part 1, phrase 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. Ending. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. That's actually where I misspoke at the beginning. I'm like, half an A. No, wait, it is the whole thing. It is a very classic part 1, part 2, part 1 again, and then the ending. And you may have heard some similarities between part 2 and the ending. It's very, very well structured. So therefore, pretty easy to keep track of. Now, if it feels kind of noodly and the phrases are a little longer, don't worry. All you got to do is get them stuck in your head. And this month, as we learn this, we're going to do a lot of just sounding out. Just find that melody by your instinct on your instrument. If it helps you to think chords and scales and neighbor tones and stuff like that, like we've worked on in past tunes of the month, great, do it. But we're going to go pure instinct. Here's part 1. 3 pickups. Good. So it's like 2 halves of a sentence. 3 pickups. That's the first half. Do just that much. Again. Good. If you want more reps, just rewind the video. You know I'll always play with you as many times as you like. I'm going on second half. I have 1 pickup. Yeah. Notice I'm combining using open string E and 4th finger E. I use whichever one is more convenient and prettier. So here, open, 4. Right, and why do I use 4 there? Well, if there's only 1 note, if I were to play that with the open E, I'd only be crossing strings for 1 note. Hardly seems worth it. Easier to stay on 1 string. This is all fiddle specific stuff if you're playing another instrument. Nice little curiosity there for you to understand your stringed friends a little better. But yeah, I'm going to pick open string or 4th finger based on whichever is easier and sounds better. Good, let's put those 2 halves together. We get the whole part 1. 3 pickups. 1. Yeah, again. Good. Now when I land on that ending, rather than just sitting there, I'm going to put a little decoration in already. This is my connector. Down the scale and land. Actually, technically, that's a little backwards for a jacca, right? We've done that in past tunes of the month. So down the scale and back to where you started. And it connects here. Good. So that's decorative, but it helps connect into part 2. Let's do part 1 again and add that little decoration on the very, very end. Here we go. 3 pickups. Decorate and land. Do you notice it makes a big difference already? One more time. There you go. And notice as I'm playing bowed string players, I'm not being super picky with my bowing here. I like to change this one up a lot. What I am making sure is that I start the beginning of the phrase down bow. Right? So if I wander in a different direction, when I land on the strong one, the beginning of every 4 bars, I'm going to make sure that's down. Down. I can kind of noodle. Down for the beginning of part 2. Does that make sense? So you can kind of do whatever you like. If you want to pick up and imitate what I'm doing, I'm making sure that when I have triplets, I'm slurring them. And generally trying to keep strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak in mind. But my really only anchored bowings are down bows at the beginning of every section. One more time, part 1, getting down bow at the beginning, little connector, and land down bow for the connector into part 2. Ready? 2, 3, 1, 2. Very good. If you want more reps just for on the video, I'll do them with you. I'm going on. Part 2 is going to start with an A major arpeggio where we just landed going down bow. Yeah, it's nice and simple. It's also got 2 halves, but it might be easier to just do together. Yeah, try it again. A major. Little tug on your heartstrings here. E major. One more time, part 2. Very good. Guess what? You're basically done with the A section now because we're back to part 1. 3 pickups. Here's the ending. So the ending is just like part 2. It just stops early. A major. Here's our little tug. And it just goes right back to the E, right? Try it again, ending. Okay, that's the skeleton. Now, if we wanted to make it a little cooler, we can do the same thing to that very end of the ending, like we did to the end part of part 1. Put a little flourish. Notice the difference. So here, I'm going to go up 1 pitch so I can go down the scale. I'm going to miss the E, end up below, and back to the E. So I'm just kind of extending that downward scale move that's already built into the tune. And if you want, go ahead and use your 4th finger and your open E. For the end there, get that little unison, that's nice. Okay, so notice already it sounds so much fancier and prettier with just that little melodic extension on the end of the phrase. Notice the theme here? We're not technically ornamenting yet, but if you can, why couldn't you? Adds a lot, right? Okay, that's the whole A section that Solly wrote. Let's do it again. A theme is in E, the first part 1 theme is in E major, part 2 based on the A major chord, back to part 1 E major, and the ending A major chord straight to the ending. Let's do it. 2 whole A sections. Now, if you'd like, go ahead and start putting in some hammer-on there rather than just, you can. All right, that's called a hammer-on. If it's new to you, we've studied it in detail in many past tunes of the month. You can go get some detailed practice on it there. But for now, just put them in. Wherever you find a long note, go ahead and try a hammer-on. It will really work nicely. If you'd like to put in any little drones we've done a lot of, all I'm doing there is I'm making sure I'm leaving my B note, my first finger down on the A string. That gives me an E major drone the whole time. Any open chord tones on an adjacent string can become a drone double stop. We've also looked at this in past tunes of the month. If it's new to you, you can try it out now, or you can go check those lessons out, gather the skill, and then come back and put them in here later. But let's do the whole A section, 2 of them, and decorate however you can. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Back to part 1. Ending, decorate, and grace note there. Part 1. so just listening to mine, did you figure out where I liked to put in the drones especially? I have a favorite place. I don't drone too much in the E major chord because I think it gets too heavy, at least for my taste. Now right here, I keep that open E droning for that second half. Sounds really nice there. And it is a nice place to put it too, because then the first half of part one is kind of pure, no drone, and then it deepens with the harmony in the second half. Try that with me, part one. 3 pickups. No drone. Get ready. Here. Let it go there. I like to drone here. Put your first finger on both strings. Just that much. Back to part one. No drone. Get ready. Pick it up here. Drone. Let it go. Here. And here. Unison. So you can see that a lot of those are drones we already know, we've used many times, including in last month's Old Time Reel. Go figure, Old Time Reel, Cape Breton waltz, very similar drone techniques. And if I don't drone so much, if I keep it kind of sparse and only in special places, the waltz doesn't feel too heavy, right? If I use too many drones, it will feel too heavy. So you have to use your taste and figure out, where does the drone help give me depth? And then if it starts to be too much, I just back off of it, right? I shift my arm level so I'm just on the melody string without anything extra. All right, that's the whole A section. Wow, that goes fast when you think phrase to phrase, doesn't it? Anything you'd like to do more of? Rewind. I'm your virtual practice buddy. I'll play with you as many times as you like. Truly, truly, I will. And be gleeful about every single one of them. All right, but real-time me is moving on. We need a B section. All right, I'm going to play it through the whole thing. You will probably notice some similarities to the A section. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. See what you can pick up. All right, I'm going to go right on the downbeat. No pickups for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sound familiar? Part one. Part two. Back to part one. Ending. Sound familiar? Yeah, notice that's a cloud ending. It's the same ending for the B section as the A section. And especially if we put our little decorative end on the last E. Right? So you could do just the plain step down. Step, down, E. Or you can add that extra little flourish. Actually, one makes a nice variation of the other, don't you think? If you were to do it plain sometimes and then with the flourish sometimes. There's a variation idea for you there. But you don't have to, just if you want. All right, well, you already know 25% of the B section, at least, because that ending's the same. Let's go back, pick up the rest of the B. Part one starts the same as the ending. A chord. Yeah, try it again, A major. Now notice it's the A major. I use the same flourish. Now it's functional. But I use it to get back up. And back down. That's it. That's part one. Try it again. A major. Flourish. Up to G sharp and back down. Very nice. That much again. Now notice I was already putting hammer-ons in kind of by accident. I almost can't help myself because they just want to. I'm putting it especially on notes where I'm landing and they have like an emotional like tug on my heartstrings. That's where I want to hammer on. A major, right here. Flourish, right here. Here. They're the big landings that I'm hammer running. Did you already figure that out in the A section? Yeah, maybe. If not, boop, light bulb moment. You can use that for the rest of your life. Do that part one again. See if you get those hammer-ons in. A major, hammer on, flourish, hammer on, hammer on. Yeah, do it again. A major. Good. Now where I landed here, it's the same flourish as the A section. Aha, the same as the end of A part one. Notice those flourishes come in real handy. Don't come in real handy, don't they? I can speak English. All right, try it again. Let's do part one, add in the hammer-ons, and then add that final flourish. Ready? A major. Flourish. Hammer-on. Flourish. Yeah, do that much again. Flourish. Good, that's part one. If you want any more reps, pause the video, do it yourself, or rewind it and do it with me. Where I just landed is part two. Starts the same way. Aha! So part two, almost identical to part one. A major, flourish going up. Now here, just like the A section, he's kind of mix and matching stuff we already know from the A to make a new section, isn't he? Clever writing. Do part two again. A major, flourish going up. E major. Good. One more time. Good. So we now need to get back to part one. This is very high. Part one's down here. How are we going to connect it? You can use the flourish. Oh, sorry. As a little pickup. Just doing it a little quickly. See that connector? Do part two with the connector. Connect. Those flourishes work as pickups. And they also sound like fancy waltz variations. Go figure. Do part two and connect it again. Going up. Part one, you know it. Back down. Ending, you already know it. Flourish. Yes. And that's the whole B section. Do the whole B section. Use your flourish as a pickup. Part one. Back down. Flourish. Part two. going up. Flourish pickup. Part 1. Flourish going up. Ending. Good, let's repeat. Pick up. And that's the whole section, whole tune. Excellent job, you guys. So the thing that happens here is those flourishes on the very end where you think you've just ended. You've ended here, and rather just going here, you go da 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 da, right? A little above, a little below, and then land. I'm calling them flourishes because they happen on the tail end of things. And they're usually little triplet or dotted eighth note figures. We're not being super explicit about that here today because it's much easier, I think, to just hear it and feel it in this tune. But that idea of extending, when I've landed on a long note, extending it with a little flourish is very useful for fancying up a waltz. It also gives me effectively a pickup into the next section. And I can reuse the same figures over and over because the tune will keep landing on the same notes because it has the same chords, right? If I'm ending on an E major chord, I'm ending on an E or a B, probably the root or the fifth. And so I can flourish the E, I can flourish the B. Not a whole lot of extra stuff. I believe the old expression is a lot of bang for very little buck, right? Once you have one flourish, you can use it a lot of places. Add into that hammer-ons, especially on landings that have an emotional charge to them. And a couple tasteful little drone double stops, and you got a really beautiful tune. Let's, to finish up, play through the entire thing. We'll play 2 A's, 2 B's. By the way, you could repeat round and do it many times, especially if you were playing for a dance. And put in all the little decorations you'd like. You don't have to. You're more than welcome to leave out the flourishes. No hammer-ons, no drones. This tune is beautiful even at its skeleton. But if you want to get a little fancy, see how much you can put in there. All right, we'll go a little bit under tempo so you have time to think and to feel your way through. Part 1, going up for E major. Well, A section, 1, 2, 3, 3 pickups. Pick up the drone. Flourish. Part 2. Back to part 1, E major. Repeat. You got it. B section, A major, back down, part 2, A major, flourish going up, part 1, ending, you already know it. Good, you got it. Flourish, pick up. Back to part 1. job, you guys. Hopefully you love the melody. I know I certainly do. It is well named. I don't really know who Boo Baby is, but it's definitely a beautiful lullaby. And gives you some little tricks to play with, some applications of tricks you already had. Really effective use of hammer-ons, drones, and those little tiny flourishes that aren't a lot of extra brain power, but make all the difference in decorating your waltzes. So hopefully this gives you lots to play with. As always, if you'd like to see this and any future Tune of the Month sheet musics, you can subscribe to my email newsletter if you go to my website, www.mariblack.com, and sign up for my monthly email. You will get each month not only a little hello from me, but my personal handwritten version of the current Tune of the Month, a little thing that I send out to my subscriber folks who stay in touch regularly. And if you are already subscribed, that means you already have Boo Babies in your inbox. If you are watching this in the future, oh boy, and you go subscribe, you will have all future Tunes of the Month coming to you as well. So just if that's helpful, love to stay in touch. And no matter what, hope you love the tune and have fun playing around with these ideas. I'll look forward to seeing you out in the world for some real tunes somewhere and back here next month for more tunes of this nature. See you later, guys!